Jungkook sat beside her in the bed as he stared into her eyes, his thumb softly brushing against the knuckles of her hand. The two didn't exchange any words for a few minutes, letting their eyes do the work. Jungkook, so tell me, Wyan, he finally said, will you be mine? A soft note from Wyan was all he needed before she said, yes, I'll be. This was the moment he waited 6 months for. And now that she was in front of him, agreeing to be his, he didn't know how to be a patient man anymore. So, he slid his arm around her waist and pulled her closer to him. He earned a little gasp from her in response, a hand on the nape of her neck, and he leaned in for a kiss. When he was assured that it was consensual, he took her lips in between his. They molded against each other softly at first, turning it in a passionate one. It continued for a few minutes before they pulled back. Jungkook, I'm not letting you go anywhere anymore. Wyan, I would like that, she whispered, through her soft smile and rested her head against his chest, his arm taking her in his warm embrace, and the two slept like that, feeling each other's presence. Wyan woke up that morning to another feel of a weight above her. While this time she was ready to see a cute little princess patting her cheeks, but that was not the sight she saw once she opened her eyes. But who was complaining when she found the man sleeping peacefully beside her, arm wrapped around her waist and hair all ruffled, spread over the pillow, the man who claimed to make her his last night, to propose and kiss her. She felt butterflies in her stomach as she leaned in to kiss his cheek. She would marry him today if she gets to see this sight every morning. Jungkook stayed in his sleep and was quick to wake up at the slightest touch. Wyan, good morning. Jungkook, morning, Mrs. Soon-to-be John. She cringed yet blushed at the same time over the name. Wyan, Billy was here last time. Why she's not today? Jungkook, I was meaning to have a romantic morning with my lady. He stirred, sleep still residing in his eyes, and he kissed her temple. Jungkook, she'll be here soon though, to get her morning hair done. What about you? Did you sleep well? Wyan nodded, taking his affection when his fingers softly continued to brush against her hair. His tattooed hand held her chin in between his fingers and pecked her lips. How was she supposed to tell him? It was after so long she slept with such a warmth engulfing her. Like her muscles fell into place and she slept the best sleep possible. So, when she stood in front of mirror, brushing her hair and Jungkook stared out of the closet with his shirt undone, a tie loosely hanging down his neck as he back hugged her. It was her heart, skyrocketing out of the planet. Yet her body fell right back in his arms, peacefully, as if it was made to be there. A reason to be born. Jungkook, let me take you on a date coming weekend. Just you and I. Wyan and Miri. Jungkook, she will stay with Jess. I told you, it's just the two of us. Okay, she said and shivered when his breath fanned across the neck of her neck, followed by a kiss. Wyan, I was thinking I'll be Mary's mother. It's just something so new and strange, and it's making me nervous. Jungkook finished it for her when she was not able to find the correct word. She turned around, fingers fidgeting with his shirt buttons automatically, looping them in the holes. Jungkook, you can take all the time, Ryan. I wouldn't ever throw such a huge responsibility on your shoulders all at once. Ryan, all I know is Miri will be my child, and I'm not going to treat her any lesser than my own blood. She fixed his shirt and the tie properly around his neck. Jungkook, and all I know is that no mother would be better than you for her. They pulled away when they heard a tiny, faint knock on the door, followed by a loud one. Once Jungkook allowed the door open to reveal Jess and Miri standing on the floor, with her hand curled in a tiny fist. Jess wished them good morning and left, while Miri rushed in happily with her arms wide open. It was enough to bring a smile on Jungkook's lips as he picked up the girl and kissed her cheeks. Wine, I told you, she is too dangerous for my health. She dramatically put a hand on her heart and laughed, followed by Jungkook. Once Miri was done with Jungkook, she demanded morning kisses from Wyan and cheered happily when she received them. It looked like a perfect family when Jungkook sat her down on the dressing and started making her hairstyle. All the while Wyan put cute pins in her hair. She was surprised to see a huge section of his closet filled with her hair accessories, a cute contrast against his classy, black themed place. The three of them had breakfast together, where she sat on the table in front of them, and Wyan fed her all the while. Two had their fun. She included Jungkook using Miri as a weapon against him, such as asking Miri to demand ice cream from him, or put sauce on his nose, which earned a grunt in response, but he accepted nevertheless. The next weekend arrived before she even knew. Jungkook had taken her to shopping in between the weekend, and whereas he bought her a lot of stuff, there was this one dress he requested from her to wear on their date. And so she did, clad in a beautiful black dress that hugged her curves, enhancing her beauty, and she tied her hair in a bun. She wore a necklace and was clearly satisfied with her look when she stood before Jungkook, and he looked at her as if he never saw a woman so beautiful before. He extended his hand, which Wyan took and kissed the back of it. I had many beautiful ways of imagining you in this dress, but you surpassed all of them. Her cheeks turned red, and he was proud every time he made her blush. Once the two sat down opposite to each other for the dinner in a restaurant so luxurious they had ordered for the food. Jungkook got them a separate cabin where they could have their privacy. They had their meal with some wine and some plannings for future. Till they were done and wine stood before the glass wall on one side of the cabin, which revealed such a beautiful city view lit up with lights in the night. Jungkook watched her from his seat as he took a sip of his wine. All the lights casted a glow on her. He stood up and walked near her, wrapping his one arm around her waist, while the glass of wine stayed in his other hand. Jungkook, move in with me. He left a kiss on her shoulder. I can protect you better from there. Wine, or you want me to be there with you all the time? She teased, and Jungkook took it without a complaint. Jungkook, I won't reject that. She turned towards him, and he placed the glass aside. He trapped her between the wall and himself and brushed fingers through her cheek. I am a hard to get lady. You'll have to propose me for that. Jungkook grinned at the little try she was making. Both knew so well she had no intentions of doing that. Who was he to reject? when he had such plans himself. Jungkook, then be ready for some amazing events because I'm going to make sure your every fairy tale comes to reality. He kissed her and she kissed him back, wrapped her arms around his neck. Jungkook slid his arm around her waist, holding her with so much authority, yet such care.